What's up, dude? Check it. I'm making necklaces and earrings. So this is the last weekend of the Renaissance Festival. And Spirit said, I just all of a sudden heard Sheila Nagig. A Sheila Nagig might mean something. I'm waiting for my computer to start. So a Sheila Nagig is... you can find them on churches and around Ireland, Scotland. I think there's one in France, all over. And what they are is, and PJ Harvey has an amazing song called Sheila Nagig, and I'm going to put it as the first song on the playlist for this message. And after this lesson, listen to it, because PJ Harvey is absolutely brilliant. So a Sheila Nagig is a representation of the powerful side of the divine feminine. And so they were sculptures that were put on the sides of churches and stuff, almost like, if you can conceptualize, like a gargoyle. But these are signs of protection, and we have to remember, and you'll find them on churches, which seem kind of weird because once we talk about what they are, but you have to remember that there was a long time where people were transitioning from pagan beliefs over to Christianity. And that's like the lesson of the Celtic High Cross. So an Irish cross or a Celtic High Cross, which is a cross with a circle through it. That circle represents the pagan beliefs, and the cross represents the Christian beliefs. So there was a good amount of time where people believed both things as they were transitioning over to Christianity. And now, in modern times, a lot of pagan beliefs have kind of whittled down into superstitions. And so that's how it wasn't like one day, like Friday we're pagan and Saturday we're Christian. No, there was lots of time where people lived with both beliefs. So that's why you'll see these Sheila Nagigs on churches. And so what it is a scary looking being that is pulling open its vagina or vulva. I don't want to get like YouTube to I hear Blitzkrieg I just heard. So pulling open and flashing her vagina or vulva, however you want to say it. And what she is doing is warding off evil spirits with the power of the divine feminine and her baby maker. And so a lot of times when women would go into labor, they would call for a Sheila Nagig, which was often a doula, who would go into the birthing mother's room. And so this would be maybe like, I was just like the concept of a cunning woman in the past. They may have called these kind of people like a white witch, if you can conceptualize that, somebody who uses their gifts for good. And so they would come and assist this person in giving birth, and they would start the whole labor by going around the room, lifting up their skirts and flashing their vagina as a form of protection around this birthing mother and her baby. Because let's remember, a child's soul enters its body when it takes its first breath of the universe. And so a Sheila Nagig would circle around a form of protection. There's an excellent discussion by a woman named, I believe her name is Megan. I'll try to find it. And there's a clip on here on YouTube, and I'll link it in the comment section here. Very informative. There's all sorts of free information. So somebody might be thinking about that. So that's what the Sheila Nagig is. And so when you know what a Sheila Nagig is, if you're a fan of PJ Harvey, it makes her song even cooler. So there's the lesson on Sheila Nagigs. And why you will see these kind of things on churches where you're like, why is that on a church? That looks kind of, and they look kind of scary, kind of evil even. Some look alien. And because it's not supposed to be representing the beautiful side of the divine feminine, it's supposed to be representing the powerful, protective side of the warrior woman from Mars. That's my middle name, Marcella. The warrior woman who's coming in to protect with her power of her and her baby maker. And so that's why they look that way. And it stems all the way back from pagan beliefs. And then that also explains it's called a high cross, a Celtic cross, why that circle is there. There's a long time where people lived in both realms, pagan and Christianity. And then it morphed over into Christianity. And a lot of these serious pagan beliefs kind of whittled down into superstitions. So there's the lesson on the Sheila Nagig. Yeah. Everybody drop trow and flash it! Just kidding.